Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Research Report number 11. This time we're going to do it on IO.net. Very promising AI plus DePin project. So let's dive in. Always, before you continue the video, read the disclaimer, and of course, nothing in this report is, of course, financial advice. So let's begin our research. So let's start with the introduction to IO.net. So IO.net is a decentralized GPU network aimed at powering AI and machine learning applications. It operates by tapping into underutilized GPU power from independent data centers, crypto miners, and consumer GPUs. Also, with the growing demand for computing power and the ongoing global shortage of GPUs, IO.net aims to aggregate idle GPU resources, providing a much needed boost to the global supply. Also, how does IO.net leverage DePin? IO.net sits at the intersection of AI, crypto, and decentralized physical infrastructure networks, what we call DePin, allowing it to create a scalable, decentralized network of computing power. So, how does IO.net work? So, what does IO.net do? IO.net collects unused GPU power from various sources like crypto miners, independent data centers, and even consumer GPUs. In this way, it creates a decentralized network for AI and machine learning tasks. Um, Also, by leveraging DePin networks, IO.net can dynamically scale its GPU network based on demand, offering flexible, scalable, and computing solutions. Also, this decentralized approach ensures cost-effective utilization of GPU resources, making advanced computing power more accessible for business and AI researchers. So, links, where can you find IO.net? Of course, through their website, IO.net. That's where you can, view their partnerships, deep dive more into their products. They also have a Twitter where you can ask questions. You can see they have joined Twitter since 2018. They have been pretty active on Twitter. Their latest tweet was on October 6th, where they did AMAs, they did interviews, they had quizzes. So basically, they had interaction with the community, which for me is very important to see on a project. This is a preview of their website. Here you can see a short overview how they use these GPUs, these unused GPUs. For example, I have a NVIDIA 4090. So if I want to, I can go to IO.net and offer my GPU, and they can use my GPU to offer some data or sources for other people to use, and I get then rewarded in IO tokens. But me personally, I don't like to share my data too much, so I won't be using it. But this is how people can use it. For example, of course, the narrative. Well, we just talked about DePin, right? You're lending your data and get reward in return, and of course, as you can see, they also do AI. You can see on the picture we offer the best selection of optimal AI processors. So yes, they do use AI, and they also use DePin in their product. So that's why it makes it a very attractive narrative. There's two narratives in one, basically. Uh, Tokenomics. So as we know, IO.net is not an old project; it's pretty new. So we can see the max supply is 800 million. Total supply is 500 million, so that means they have some reserves. At the moment, 11.9% of the max supply is available on the market, which is 95 million. So as we know, that's not that much. And their next unlock, I mean, I think they have like weekly unlocks of only 0.13% of the max supply, so that's okay. So their fasting actually looks more interesting. So for me, what makes this really attractive is their tokens from the seed sale, their tokens from the initial core contributors, and the Series A tokens. These are all tokens from from their investors. These tokens won't be unlocked till June 2025, so you don't have to worry about any dumping from these parties, till summer 2025. So that's where I would worry. Maybe we are in a bear market or whatever, but if there's more supply than demand, this token will absolutely dump. Um, they also have unlocks soon in December, but for those I wouldn't worry too much because those are only for research purposes to expand their ecosystem, right? To invest back in the company. And the only thing I could not find the vesting of was the on-track tokens of the emissions, right? So those emissions, I think, is when I offer my GPU, for example, I get rewards for that. I don't know how that get vested. And then what's left is the community tokens, which has a pretty slow vesting period. So it's over 42 months, so that's pretty okay. So vesting wise, so far so good. Investors, IO.net raised $30 million. Some main VCs that I've seen that were pretty interesting were, of course, Delphi Ventures, Solana Ventures, right, Multicoin Capital, and MiCA Brands. So these are all pretty known VCs. And of course, they also launched on Binance where they did a launch pool. So that's that for investors. Let's say you are interested in IO.net. Where can you buy this? Well, you can buy this on Binance, Crypto.com, KuCoin, and of course, one of my favorite exchanges is Bybit. Market cap and revenue. At the moment, IO.net is sitting around 171 million market cap. Their all-time high market cap was 610 million when they first launched. I did a little bit of research if they made any revenue yet. The only numbers I could find was from quarter two, where it says since its inception, IO Cloud has served over 23,000 GPU clusters. Let's see, 1 million computer powers. Yes. So it says the network has generated $1.1 million in revenue. Now, which is pretty cool. You can see it underneath into the highlights, right? The total worker fees was 1.1 million. They also and then total IO reward distributed back to the to the people that offer their GPUs was around 7.9 million. So that's pretty that's pretty good. Conclusion. So basically, what I've said into the introduction, I think that IO.net taps very well into underutilized GPU resources, increasing the global supply of computing power while addressing the GPU shortage issue. I also think that IO.net is cost efficient. I think the decentralized network allows for cost-efficient GPU usage, making high-powered computing power affordable for AI and machine learning projects. And therefore, I also think that IO.net is pretty scalable. I do think IO.net's decentralized structure ensures that it can easily scale in response to the rising demand for computing power, creating a sustainable, flexible solution for the future. So, thank you guys for the first part of the research. Now let's dive into the TA of IO.net and see where we can get a good entry. Hi guys, let's dive into the TA of IO. Of course, IO.net has a very classic start of a coin that got released at the wrong time. We have seen a huge gain when it got launched on Binance of around like 546%, and of course the VCs, or at least the people from the launch pool on Binance, of course, dumped their tokens rightfully. Since then, it found a bottom around 130, so it had a drop of almost 80%. In the meantime, it did have a couple of reversions to the mean, or some bounces here and there. For example, this bounce here when it came down to 195, 193, bounced all the way up to $3.23. But this was also very bad timing for IO.net. It couldn't catch a break, got dumped all the way. Very brutal dump, as you can see. And honestly, since then it did find a bottom for now, right? So this 130 level didn't go broken yet. Of course, it can happen always. But I do think there's a good opportunity here. So let's just see what happened here. So it established resistance here at $2.50, where you got your first rejection right there. Came all the way back down again to test those lows, as you can see there. It didn't break the lows, which is a good thing, so it made a double bottom. It tried again to break out, and it got rejected again from the same level. And why is it getting rejected there? Because you have an inflection point right there. This candle closed from the 4th of July. That's where you keep getting rejected. That's where you there, right there, and it started right here, right? So that's something you have to pay attention to if you're gonna take profits. It would be at around 230. I'm sorry, I said 250. I mean 230, of course. So where would be a nice potential entry again for IO.net? Well, that's something we're gonna have to look for, past price action. So as you can see here, here's of course where it got massively dumped, but this of course had to do with that massive dump from BTC. Here it made a higher low around $1.70-ish. So actually, you can bid here, or you can bid between this whole box, right? Because you can see here in the past, it likes to find supports between like 170 and 150 would be a good place to bid, or DCA, right? So around here and around here would be a nice place. And of course, if you want to make a short support for this, you can also use this wick at 160-ish right there. That's where you also held some support, right? You can make that your midline, right, in that little range, and you can bid there too. So between like 170 and 150, there's where you can like ladder in, and I would place a stop loss, a very tight stop loss underneath 150, because if IO.net breaks 150, it has a chance to potentially, right, break these lows at 130, and that's something you don't want to be in, right? So those would be my entries, and let's say you get one of those entries, right, and you have a pretty nice average and it surges up, then your take profit levels would be, let's say like 195. You have 230, 25, and I think it's really gonna skyrocket when it finally can break those local highs, and then you can look for 250 to 270, and then of course the sky's the limit, and then you're gonna have those classic looking charts where you have the initial dump, you have that sideways action, and then that surge up, right? And as you guys have seen in the FA part of this video, you can see that there's no massive dumping ahead till next year, right? So let's just check the EMAs really quick. So yeah, you can also see that IO.net is underneath important EMA, so the EMA 10 and the EMA 21. That's where you want to be above, like you have done here, right? You went above those EMAs. That's why you went up. You kept, your momentum was up. Now, of course, you got rejected 3 times. So let's see if we can, if IO.net can maybe make a higher low around like 170-ish. So that's really the price action that I see on IO.net. There's not much to say here anymore. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.